You're now tuned in to your favorite host of choice, Mr. Aketa Jones, Mr. Aketa Jones, Mr. Aketa Jones. Hey! Let's go! Turn your radio up and just listen to your voice, your business. You're now tuned in with your host of choice, Miss Aketa Jones, the lady with the voice. Miss Aketa Jones, Miss Aketa Jones, Miss Aketa Jones, the lady with the voice.
What's up, everybody? You are listening to Aketa J. Y'all already know what's up. And this is Your Voice, Your Business. And I have a very special guest. One of my favorite people that I've met here in Atlanta, Georgia. He's an actor and an entrepreneur. You may have seen him in Ray, Dukes of Hazzard, Just My Luck, when I tell you. And not only that, he is the owner of the Actors District.
That's right.
Here in Atlanta, Georgia, in Buckhead, Mr. Tobi Gadison.
Let's go.
How are you?
Man, I'm doing as good as you look, man. And as good as this studio looks, man. It's fantastic.
It's dope.
Yeah, it really is.
Shout out to the owner. He is super, super dope.
Yeah, man.
Tell me where you from.
All right, well, that's not complicated, but kind of complicated. I was born and raised in D.C., so shout out to the DMV. I'm talking D.C. proper, Northeast, Riggs Park. And then, you know, when I was a kid, moved to Philly. So I'm a perfect hybrid of D.C. and Philly, you know what I mean? But I spent more of my life growing up in Philly than D.C. But, you know, when people know you, how come you don't say you from D.C.? Son. or Joe, you know. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Philly by way of D.C.
Okay, so what was it like growing up in Philly?
That's a good question. It was fun but tough, because Philly's a rough town, man. Philly is a rough.
Are you town. The stuff that Kevin Hart says is true?
100%.
Oh God.
100%. Like, and don't get it twisted. I came to Philly at the right age. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where it wasn't too dangerous, but it could have gotten dangerous. Like, you know. Mm-hmm. But Philly was fun. Philly has a vibe like no other. Mm-hmm. It has a cultural history like none other, musically, artistically. Mm-hmm. So it was perfect for me. But you know, Philly itself is hard. It's a very street-driven, industrial city. And it has some nice touches. Like, it has a lot of parks and things of that nature. But, like, everybody in Philly is it's tough.
Just tough. Like New York.
Yeah, but different. Different. Like, New York is its own thing, but Philly is a soulful tough. You know what I mean? It's gritty. It's honest city.
Brother
like
love.
They'll let you know what's what. Yeah, but now I love Philly. Philly has made me who I am.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you something. And speaking of who you are, you became an actor at what age?
Shoot, man. Since I began to talk, really. If I could go back that far. Like, it was always a thing for me. Like, I was always encaptured by the arts, you know, in acting. Like, I remember, like, in the first grade, they had a play, and I remember being upset because I didn't get picked, and you know, I wanted to do something. Like, the stage always drew me. I think it, started like in the fourth grade in D.C., Shepherd Elementary. Shout out to Miss Kaiser, rest in peace. We had an acting competition called Olympics of the Mind. And so she literally laid the foundation of writing, producing, directing, and acting, because the kids had to solve a problem within the 7-minute skit. Mm-hmm. And I hate the word skit because skits are for children. But in this context, it's appropriate. And so we had to write our own, write our own skit, write our own script. We had to come up with the whole thing, and we had to compete against other acting teams in the region and in the world and in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, which we took first place in fourth grade.
Well, look at you. You so competitive.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Before, well, not to get off acting, but to get really deep into acting,
Yeah.
you are my acting coach.
Yes. Yeah.
No shade to anybody else I've learned under briefly, but I can honestly say you are the best acting coach
Oh, wow.
I've ever had, and
Oh,
I've
man,
had about
thank you.
3.
Thank you.
And what you've taught me within the first month.
Really?
First month, I've been under you 1 month.
Yeah.
I pay my bill next week. I'm just saying.
Gotta keep the lights on.
The way that you teach,
Yeah.
it's almost like you were born to do this.
Yeah.
You're very passionate about
Yeah.
it. You know, I was making a joke about with you about falling over and keep it going.
Yeah,
and you
right,
like, hey, I fell, but hey,
Right.
scene.
Right. Right.
Where does the drive come from? Because you are driven.
Yeah.
You are motivating. It's like you see it on TV,
Yeah.
and it's on TV, but it's real with you. We feel the realness. And
Yeah.
I walked in your class, and I literally saw people that I've seen on television
Yeah.
that has been on big shows. I'm
Yeah.
like, you trained these people.
Yeah.
Tell me, where does the drive come from?
Jesus.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's I didn't, and I say this a lot, and I think it's true. Everything that something is supposed to be, it's already in the seed. Like the information is already there. Like an apple seed ain't gonna grow up to be an apple tree, right? A cat is never gonna become a puppy. I don't care what context you put it in. So if that's the case, whatever I'm supposed to become, because I flow in it, it was already in me, and it just took time, circumstance, and effort to draw it out. So like I made my professional decision to be an actor, like in the early 2000s when I saw Devil in the Blue Dress, when I saw Don Cheadle's performance. Like I will always be a Denzel dude. But Don Cheadle has something extra in that movie that was just like, he was so visceral. He was so alive. And at the time I was making music, with my boy Darius. Shout out to Diesel. And yeah, like we would make music and play chess every day because he lived right next to me. I was living in New Orleans at the time. So if you know anything about New Orleans, I was living in the shotgun house. I stayed on one side, my man stayed on the other side. And so literally every day we would make music, play chess, and then watch a movie. And so this one particular day he put on Devil in the Blue Dress and I stopped playing chess and I looked at him and it was like, Don Cheadle rather, and it just clicked. And I said, Lord, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I feel like at that moment, I came into agreement with his plan for what he wanted me to do.
And you were fully persuaded. And I can tell it's God.
Yeah.
It's like you're creating and you have created people to do what God told them to do. And you are perfecting them. Because you don't play in class, honey. I sit in the back. I mind my business and I learn. I say, man, this is dope.
Yeah.
And I rehearse it, even when I skipped my homework, I felt so bad I couldn't sleep. I might as well should have just got up and did it. But it's a passion that you have that inspires everybody, And when I was reading your bio, I know you were in Ray, but I do want to know, because we never discussed this, how did that role come about? Because you were with powerhouses. And you know what? In order for a person to be next to a powerhouse, such as Jamie Foxx, you got to be good.
Well, thank you for that, because I don't always see it that way. You know what I mean? Like I always feel like I'm like an outsider. Maybe that's kind of part of my issue or what have you. Cause it's that imposter syndrome thing that they talk about. Like I just, to God be the glory always, you know what I mean? So I always feel like I never really had this feeling like I belong when I'm like in the it circles. That's why all of my friends, we were always the outsiders, the misfits, the island of broken toys, you know what I mean? I'm a fan of the underdog. I always feel like the underdog and things of that nature. So I always root for the underdog. My pop told me that a long time ago. But yeah, so this was probably one of the illest miracles, career wise. So this is what happened. So right after that time, I was like, yo, I want to be an actor. A week later, this lady comes up to me. Her name's Tasha. She was going to my church at the time. And she said, yo, I'm starting up an agency. Do you want to act? I was like, yeah, because I had just made that decision. Then that following Sunday, she was like, yo, I'm opening up an agency. Do you want to act? And I was like, without a shadow of a doubt. So trying to make a long story shorter.
Take your time. We got time.
Red Bet. She said, I did a couple of things, and she goes, yo, Jamie Foxx is filming a movie down here. It's called Ray. This is the story of Ray Charles. And I was like, word? I was like, yeah, so get ready. I need your pictures. I need your headshots. Now, mind you, this was at a time in the early 2000s where there were no classes in New Orleans. There wasn't, I didn't know that I knew of, and there wasn't anybody to teach you like the business or what have you. So, but I had my friends that were in the arts, so I leaned on them a lot. So I got my boy Reed was a photographer, so I got my headshots done. I didn't know how to put together a resume at all. My first resume was abysmal. But I went in there and I went into the audition, and then Taylor Hackford, who directed, Oscar award-winning director who directed Officer and the Gentleman, he goes, oh my God, you're great. He said, man, yeah, nah. I like what you did there. You're great energy, so forth and so on, yada, yada, yada. But do you know how to play the trumpet? And I go, of course. You kidding me? I absolutely know how to play. This is New Orleans, man. Everybody knows how to play a trumpet. I did not.
Oh my God.
I did not. So he said, okay, cool. He said, you got the lines down. He said, come back for the callback or what have you. So I'll go to the callback. You know what I mean? And he has me work the room, and he's like nodding his head. He's impressed. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he goes, okay, we're going to give you the role contingent upon the musical director signing off on you. He has to hear you play. I was like, okay, cool. Cool. You want to play right now? He said, no. He goes, he said, I'm going to send him to you, in a week. So, here's, we're going to send you the music or what have you, so get prepared for the music and the melody or what have you. I said, okay, bet. I walked out of there shook, like, oh my God, like, how am I don't know the trumpet. I don't know anybody that knows how to play the trumpet. How do I even get my hands on the trumpet? How do I even practice? But I was like, all right, I'm determined. Like, I gotta do it some kind of way. So I was in a play at the time, and then the lead actress, I forgot that her father was a local jazz legend, Kermit Ruffins. If you're ever in New Orleans, you hear that name, local jazz legend, like jazz legend. But that was her pop. So I said, yo, Keisha, you think your pop will let me borrow? I got this audition coming up for a trumpet player for Ray, yada, yada, yada. You think your pop will let me hold one of his trumpets? And she was like, yeah. Next rehearsal, she gave me his high school trumpet. And so I didn't know how to play, so I went to the local university, which is UNO, University of New Orleans, and I knew because I went to Howard, and I knew how the fine arts department was set up. So I said, I'm gonna go hang out by the musical department, right? Because somebody knows how to play the trumpet. So I spotted it took me a couple hours, but I spotted the first trumpet player that I saw. I was like, hey man, listen. I have this huge audition from Ray. Here's the music. I just need to play this one melody. I know it to this day. Like I still, right? So I said, can you please help me learn? I just need to learn this melody. And he was like, all right, just work the scales first. So I said, so for 8 to 12 hours a day, Aketa, I rehearsed over and over and over for a straight week, and I didn't get any better. I actually got progressively worse. Oh. No better.
What?
But in that time, I knew my way around I could break it down, build it back up, dismantle it, construct it with my eyes closed because I had it all the time. You saw me, you saw that trumpet. I was watching Mo Better Blues for like 100 million times just to see how a real trumpet player looks, studying Miles Davis. I did my homework. I did my work. I did my research, but I could not make a sound out of the trumpet. It sounded like it sounded, or there was no note. I couldn't. So the day came.
Oh, Lord.
And I said, Lord, I said, Father, in the mighty name, I said, yo, this is either going to be one of the greatest miracles or the greatest embarrassment of my life. I literally said that in my mind. But I said, I'm going to trust you. The musical director comes in and he goes, yeah, Tobi said, man, are you ready? This is a big opportunity. I was like, yeah, man, come on in. So I let him in the house. I go get the trumpet and I'm just talking to him, shining them on. Hey, man, so how you like New Orleans? New Orleans is cool? Yeah, man, how's Jamie Foxx? Is Jamie Foxx all right? And I'm just talking to him, putting the trumpet together, shining it up without even looking at it. And I'm just looking at him. Right, because I'm scared. I'm stalling. I'm like, yeah, man. So, New Orleans is dope, man. Have you had any crawfish etouffee? Huh? Have you had any word? Have you had any gumbo? Have you had any gumbo? Word. Okay. Well, listen. You know what I mean, man. So you just got to watch out for the humidity and the heat, and it's all crazy. New Orleans, man. The road is big. Small talking to them, and I go, all right. So I get my posture ready. And I kid you not, I go, all right. I said, Lord, again, this is either going to be the biggest miracle, the biggest embarrassment of my life, but here I am. You know what I'm saying? And so I take a deep breath in. I put my lips to the horn, and at the apex of my inhale, right? As soon as I'm about to, blow into the horn, he goes, you ain't got to play. Don't worry about it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He goes, you don't worry about it. You look like you know how to play. But here's how stupid I am, right? I go, are you sure?
You know what? Volunteer information you have to.
No. I don't know why. I know God was like, yo, stop. Yo. So, yeah, I was like, are you sure? He's like, nah, man, you look like you know how to play, man. I'm going to tell him you know how to play. You good. Just show up to set, man. Thank you for even, suffering me, blah, blah, blah. You don't got to play. And I was like, okay, bet.
Oh, my goodness. When I say that was a miracle. But you know what? That lets you know what God got for you is for you.
Yeah.
Regardless. Yeah. So you were in the right place at the right time. And you spoke.
Yeah.
You spoke it a week ago.
Yeah.
And then it manifested. That was God letting you know.
Yeah.
You in the will. This is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Now I do know you did Jerry Bruckheimer's Glory Road.
Mm-hmm.
How was it like working with Jerry Bruckheimer?
Easy like Sunday morning.
Serious?
Yeah. I mean, because I was intimidated because you can't front on Jerry Bruckheimer's resume. It's Jerry Bruckheimer. I don't even need to run down his resume. And it was a Disney film, man. It was great, like he let you do your thing. Like I didn't feel constricted at all. He respected the actors on set. He respected our choices. And it was amazing because it was one of the first times, and God has been doing like this to me all my life. I feel like I've lived a very Forrest Gump kind of a life where I don't even know how I'm end up in these type of predicaments, but I'm just here, right? Wow. I had $10 in my account. I kid you not. And they flew me out to El Paso to film the movie. That's where we filmed it. So I'm just like, man, I'm getting flown out. Put up in hotels. I had $10 in my pocket, but I'm going to film this dope movie. I get to the trailer. I hear a knock on the door. This girl comes in and she goes, she's a PA. She goes, hey, Mr. Gadison, just, thank you for coming to the set, blah, 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 blah. I just need you to sign off on this. I don't even know what I'm signing. I'm just signing. And she hands me an envelope with like $300 in it. Okay. And I was like, girl, what I got to do for this?
What you gonna do for a little bit of
do something strange for a little bit of change. I was like, I mean, we all close to the board. I was like, man, don't make me no drug mule. Nah, she was like, no, silly, this is per diem. And I was like, Oh, okay. What's per diem? I had no clue. I was as green could be. And she was like, "This is the money that they give you to live and survive." And I said, "Yo, word every day." She's like, "Yeah, you get this every day." I said, "Every day?
Every day? It only costs $20 to eat.
I had half of that in my pocket in my bank account."
You crazy?
So for the fact that I got cash on hand and it was an amazing. I literally, this cross that I have on my neck, I got it there in El Paso. I never take it off because it was such a surreal experience being there, like right on the border of. I can't believe it jumped out. It's a border town. You know what I mean? And like so you can see Mexico, like the real Mexico. Wow. Like we will, yoke you up, kidnap you, Mexico. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like right across the border. It was crazy, but it was a beautiful experience, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so amazed. It's almost like it's surreal to just be talking to you.
Yeah.
Like for real, because I was actually kind of nervous to ask you to be on my show.
Why?
Because it's you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's you. When we first talked on the phone.
Yeah.
You and I was, giving you a rundown and what I wanted out of your class or whatever. And I kept saying, I know his voice. I'm like, I know his voice. Have you ever did radio? Yeah,
I did radio a lot back in Philly. Radios, voiceovers, things of that nature.
Voiceovers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you want to create the Actors District?
Because I saw a need. I was teaching in 2 of the top acting programs in Philly at the time, and then the program that I was teaching at, I didn't feel like we were servicing the actor correctly. Because my training was different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there were things that I wanted to do with the actors that we weren't necessarily doing, right? And so it caused some frustration. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I think I was maybe a little bit impatient in my frustration. Like, man, we need to be doing this, we need to be doing that, and I felt like I could have handled that situation a lot better, but I was, I'm impulsive. I was like, yo, no, we need to do this now. And so one day, shout out to my man, Dave, the young kid at the time. I think he was like 17, 18 years old. He walks up to me and he goes, yeah, Tob, I just want to let you know, man, I love acting, man. Love you as a coach and a teacher, but today is my last day in class. And I was like, yo, Dave, why? He was like, because I don't have the money for it. And I was like, word? And he was like, yeah, man. He said, so I said, so what you gonna be doing? He said, man, I love boxing, but I love acting. I'm starting to love acting even more. He said, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be in the streets because if I'm not here, then and we come out of the same area, North Philly, and so I knew what his potential end was going to be because Dave wasn't a knucklehead, but the North Philly is North Philly. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you don't have a structure, if you don't have a foundation, it'll sweep you up quick. And so I said, all right, bet. I heard that, and then like a week later, I built the Actors District so Dave can go there. Wow. And I said, we had our schedule originally was Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And I said, yo, bro, every time these doors are open, you need to be in class. Because I would much rather, he said, I told you I don't have no money. I said, I didn't ask you for your bread, cuz I need you to be in class. Your money is no good with me. I need you to be in class Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 3 hours. Spend 9 hours with me a week. And, I knew that would be at least a safe haven for him and for the other actors. Like, yo, we are really going to get it in now. Because I was accused of, or the biggest critique was, you're giving them too much information, Tob. They're not going to want to come back. I was like, come on, man. How you going to say that to me? There's never enough information. Right. I'd rather overload you with information that'll cause you to go, okay, hold on, let me, you know what I mean? That way, questions will happen, hopefully, with the students. Like, hey, you were talking about this? What is that? Because if you give them too little, then the questions don't happen. And that's when I can gauge if a student is really learning and really active and in their learning is if they ask questions, because that lets me know they're in pursuit of something.
Exactly. You know what? One thing I've learned by being in your class, you help people see exactly where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I discussed briefly the other day what my ultimate end goal with the commercials.
Yeah.
In national commercials.
Yeah.
Yes. TV is good. I would love to be on TV. But podcasting,
Yeah.
you taught me something and I implemented everything that you said. And I think last week was was the best show.
Outside of this one.
Man, this one dope. This one is dope. And I'm loving it.
Yeah. And
I've learned that you coach people outside of class. You coach heavy hitters. That people,
killers.
Yes. That people wouldn't even imagine that you would even know. Well, I won't even say that, but people that you wouldn't think that would be, trying to be an actor, but they're not trying to be an actor. You teach them how to speak. You teach them how to prepare.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about it.
Well, first and foremost, I do that because the arts are important. It saved my life, saves people's lives. And you've heard me say this in class, I genuinely believe that there are people that will be spiritually locked up, mentally locked up, physically locked up until they see a particular person's art, right? And if this is what God has given me to do, then I know it's what God has given you to do and other actors to do, is to perform. It's the performing arts. It's a power in that. There's a responsibility in that. And so I'm obligated to help get you to where you need to go artistically, because somebody's life is dependent upon your development as an artist.
Oh, wow.
Like 100%. Not mine, not Angela Bassett's or whoever we put on the pedestal, although they're great, don't get it twisted, but you specifically. And so if you don't reach that developmental level, then there is a person in people who will stay trapped and uninspired and dull and locked up here in all the ways. And we can't afford that because we don't know what that person is going to do for us as far as their art and humanity. Can you imagine Marvin Gaye not developing in a certain kind of, how many people he's inspired, right? Artists inspired. The songs that we when we are at our lowest, it's the art that breathes life into us. It's the art that inspires us. And in one of the greatest battles in biblical history, when Jehoshaphat was facing 5 armies, 5 trained killers. This is what they do. 5 the scriptures record that they look like grains of sand. 5 armies, and then what does God tell them to do? Send forth the praisers first. The artist. Send forth the artist. When he wanted to have his glory be carried around in the box, who did he go to? The artist. When he wanted to let the world know where the Savior was born, what did he use? The light of a star.
I got a tattoo of a star on my leg.
You see what I'm saying?
I ain't saying tattoos, I'm just saying. Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's for us, if we are in that star capacity, to shine a light to where he is and where people can find their salvation, their inspiration, their judge, because they have something to give to the next person. Yes. That's why it's so weaponized now.
Yes, it is. So,
yes,
out of everything that you have going on, I know you have encountered some trying times, some struggles.
Absolutely.
How did you handle it? I'm not going to ask you what they were because it's nobody's business. When you're ready to put it in the book, you're going to put it in the book.
Yeah, talk heavy.
But just tell us, how do you handle adversity as an actor?
That's a really good question. Because it happens a lot. Because this path isn't necessarily guaranteed. There is no real roadmap. Like, you can be the most trained person in the world and still not get put on or what have you, because there's a lot of politics in the game and things of that nature. We've all heard the horror stories. It's not like being, having a trade, or you want to be a doctor or a lawyer. That road is pretty much set out. You go to school for a number of years, you get an internship or an apprenticeship, and then, you really, you do your thing, and it's pretty much rolled out for you. This isn't. This is a very much of a, even if you are a creator and you're creating your own lane, there's been and always is a lot of pressure to earn, right? A lot of pressure to be. It gets to be a lot. And not to sound, I don't want to sound cliche, or I don't want to sound, religious, whatever that may be, but it literally is prayer. And sometimes to be honest with you, sometimes I don't do enough of it.
Me neither.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't feel as tapped in as I should be or could be. But because we're flawed. But it's always that. Like, because I go through it a lot sometimes, and there's, private wars, private battles that people don't see to make sure that your people are good. You know what I mean? To make sure that the business is rocking and rolling. And am I making the right decisions? Am I not making the right decisions? And if you don't make the right decision, and what's the cost? And so it's literally, Lord, help me. Because, in my weaknesses, because I didn't start out wanting to be a business person, an entrepreneur. I have a mind for it. I understand it because I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy. But I'm an artist. Mm-hmm. I'm a creator first. I'm an actor first. I don't want to spreadsheets.
You so crazy. They do it for you.
Yeah. Now, which is brilliant, right? I just now shout out. This is another Tasha. She owns the building Modex that we have our classes in, and she just now was like, "Tob, you need a better CRM." I said, "CRM? What? What? CRM? Chips." And what?
Chips and dip.
Right. She's like, no, it automates your whole system. So, she took me through the whole thing, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. But that's not my natural inclination. You know what I mean? My natural inclination is to do things like this, to be artistic, to express, to do all of that. So it comes with a lot of stresses, a lot of ups and a lot of downs. Mm-hmm. And then in our business, as far as teaching, students come, you have your lean months and you have your abundant months. And in those times, it's like I need you 100% because I don't know where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. I can't always rely on this avenue, or this avenue. So it is a daily struggle. It is a daily joy. And it's a daily reminder that that everything else is a resource and God is the source. Mm-hmm. And that could be a tough road to walk.
When you say God is the resource.
The source.
Mm-hmm. And he is. But you know that God is your provider.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to always come through for you.
Mm-hmm. And has. Every single time.
He never fails.
So much so.
He can't fail.
He can't. So much so that I look back on where I was frustrated at and stressed out at, and was like, I wasted a lot of time and energy being frustrated, and because you took care of that, you took care, like every turn of anxiety and stress that I ever had, every single time, and sometimes I still have the unmitigated goal to be like, yeah, but God, yeah. So I'm trying to get rid of all of that. But I think that's all of our issue.
I think so, too. And our gift make room for us.
A gift makes room for you. Talk heavy.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, when I'm starting to rely on God more and more.
Yeah, you have to.
every day, because when I say I wanted to know what was my purpose, what was my calling, Lord, why did you send me from Jacksonville, Florida to Atlanta? I need you to manifest. I need you to tell me something. I know it ain't for real estate because I don't even want to do real estate no more. I can, y'all, but y'all can call me whenever, hey, I'm just saying. But,
just hit her up,
But I just feel like God is strategically planning everything for you because everything is in steps, process, and seasons.
Right.
Once this season is up.
Right.
You never know.
Right. Do you feel like everything's getting easier for you now?
It is.
You feel like the way is being made?
It is. And I feel like I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
I feel like with the Actors District, I'm in the right place.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm literally learning. I went on my first audition. Was good in the book. I was so scared. I was like, I'm new.
We're going to work on that. We're going to work on that.
I'm like, I might need some one-on-one.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't tell them you were new, did you?
I was so
we got a lot of work to do. That's all good. I got you.
I might be, have that natural gift is what I've been told, but I need to be polished.
Yeah, that
now
training.
This right here, podcasting and radio, that's my first love. And I had a radio show in 2013 back in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
I've interviewed some of the heavyweights that you'd acted with.
Yeah, say word.
Heck yeah. So this is what I love to do. I'm in love with podcasting. I'm in love with broadcasting.
I could tell.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, now you're going to dominate this space.
Period.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to win.
And I'm going to come back like this,
Yeah, but I am going to be in some commercials and some movies, but you're going to help me.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to help me.
Absolutely.
And I love class. I'd be tired by 10 o'clock because, I stay an hour away.
Yeah, I forget that.
See? I'd be exhausted.
Yeah,
but
you know
so
what? That's my bad because the type of training I'm in. Like I remember when I was living in LA, we would get to class at like 7:30, and we would 8 o'clock, and we wouldn't get out of there till 12:31.
Y'all were hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, but I'm sleepy. Because I get up about maybe 5 o'clock every morning.
Say word.
And then
God
I
bless
work
you.
my 9 to 5. So on Tuesdays, I'm already prepared mentally to, Tuesdays, this is my day. I got this, so this is my heavy day.
Yeah.
And then I got class and I'm going there and do it. And then I study my script.
You're a G for real.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to win at it.
Yeah, you're already
God
winning.
has that right role for me. And it's going to be something that, I learn from you because you're teaching us to get out of ourselves. When you say, I don't want to see you at all in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? But that's the teaching.
Yeah.
The shadow, the mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is an everyday thing that I do.
Right. Now, here's the thing. We'll always see you.
Right.
But we want to be able to see them.
How do you embody a role? When you're preparing for your role, how do you embody it?
It's a really good question. One word, understanding.
That makes sense.
Everything. You can apply that to understanding who you are, understanding what your character wants on a base level. And there's a lot of different wants and where do they show up in the script and in your life of your character, understanding the context of who your character is in the storyline. You'll hear this word a lot, the given circumstances. What are the given circumstances to the nth degree? Understanding and paying attention to detail, meaning if this was our given circumstances, this environment affects how I act. Because depending on who I am as a person, depending on who I am as a character, like if I grew up and I didn't have home training for real, I'm doing this, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all kinds of things that will be in contradiction or in contrast to this nice environment. So understanding, okay, they got that on the wall, 2 lights here, camera here, my phone over here, clock here, lights here, you over here, plush chairs.
Yes.
Understanding my environment and how I'm moving in the environment. How am I affecting and being affected by the world that I'm in? understanding everything on a nano level, and then being that, existing and moving and living in that understanding, just like we do in real life.
So whenever you get a script, you read the entire script first?
I'm reading, yeah.
How many times?
A good couple times.
Okay.
2-3 times, because I want to get an understanding of the world, where my character is, who my character is, who they're talking to, what's that relationship like. And I try not to make it an analytical experience at first. That's why I always tell actors to read fiction. Pick up a book, get off the internet, pick up a literal book and read a fiction novel, because we're one of my mentors was Miss Carol at Uta Hagen School in New York, HB Studios. She was like, she had made the statement saying that our imagination is being given to us through these devices. So what happens is, when we're reading a book, that component in our brain starts to that component being our imagination starts to click in. So when you start to read a literal book or a script, now you can see the world that's being written. You can see the facial expressions, in the characters. You can see how you can literally hear their voices, because your imagination is primed, and it makes that happen from the written word. So now when I get a script now, I try not to make those determinations of what's my character, all the analytical stuff. I really just want to absorb the story and let my imagination start to work. And I'm paying attention to my character. And then it's a reverse engineering process. Like, okay, what did I see? What did I experience when I'm reading it? And then I try to deconstruct it to reconstruct it, if that makes sense.
Man, so you basically pick it apart.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Now that's dope. And I know we're still talking about business a little bit.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So tell me about the Manifesto Consulting Group.
Manifesto Consulting Group was a consulting firm that me and two of my brothers had developed because we wanted to do just that. Like my two brothers had a rap group called Daga Manifesto.
Daga Manifesto.
Daga Manifesto. And before that term became popular, you know what I mean? Like, we said, the manifesto, we want to manifest things. We want to bring things from our imaginations into being and help other people do the same. So we were obsessed with consulting people. Like, I was, the strategic planning guy, you know what I mean? And then my other brother, he was numbers and logistics. And our other brother, he was technically savvy, putting all of that together. So we developed a couple of different art programs, which was phenomenal. We got contracted by the United Way to teach their program administrators how to do their thing, and it was dope.
Man, that is dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all very talented.
Yeah. And we did it like we say in Philly. We did it from the muscle.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
Got
We
it
did
out
it.
the mud.
Yeah, got it right up on out that dirt. And we were a service to a lot of really good businesses.
That's what's up. I'm gonna get you out of here. Give me about 3 more minutes.
You got it all day.
Check this out. I want to know, who do you aspire as an actor? Who do you aspire to work? What filmmaker, producer to work with?
Oh, that's a good one. Obviously, I would love to work with Spike.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna. I'm looking at your hat, and it gives Will Packard.
I would love to work with him too. I would love to work with Will Packard. Will, if you listen and if you see this, I would love to lock in.
Do my show too.
And do her, do Aketa show. I would love to work with Ava DuVernay. I would love to work with Mara Brock Akil. Here's a name you don't hear. I would love to work with Matty Rich. I think that's his name. Straight out of Brooklyn.
Okay.
I think that's Matty Rich, straight out of Brooklyn.
Okay.
Then he was the same filmmaker who did The Inkwell.
Oh yes, that's back in the days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, as far as actors are concerned, Jeffrey Wright. All day long. He played Peoples and Shaft. He was Narcisse in the Boardwalk Empire show. He's done a string of movies. He's in Spike Lee's new movie. Highest to Lowest.
I know the name. I just can't put his face.
He's a chameleon. Don Cheadle, of course. I would love to work with George Clooney.
Okay.
Brad Pitt, because they're cold blooded, man. I would love to work with Denai Guerrera. She played. She was in The Walking Dead, and she also played one of the warriors in Black Panther. One of the women, the bald women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew her name. I just know faces for the most part.
Zazie Beetz, ATL. I would love to work with her. Speaking of that, Brian Tyree Henry, I would love to work with him. He played Paperboy in ATL. And Gugu and Batha Raw, I would love to work with her. I got a little list.
Yeah, and you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
We speaking heavy.
Talk heavy.
Talk heavy. Talking heavy.
Right.
Okay, so I want you to take us out with one of your favorite quotes or saying that you live by.
Dang, how do I whittle it down? Favorite quote.
It can be more than one.
All right, I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
The first one is going to be, if we don't empower each other, we oppress each other by default. The second one is, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we could ask or think.
According to the power
that worketh within me.
Juanita Bottom told me that.
Talk heavy.
She told me that. Juanita Bottom told me that when she came to Florida, and she was at Philippian Community Church. She pointed at me and she told me that, and I receive it, and I believe it's happening. Only God. So how we're gonna end the show and do our favorite little handshake that we do in class.
And it's like that.
Period. This has been another episode of Your Voice, Your Business with me, Aketa J, and my very special guest, actor, entrepreneur, Tobi Gadison. Till next time, same place.
Peace, love, soul.
Bye, y'all.
Miss Aketa Jones, the lady with the voice.